Welcome to Rethink Act. So we talk to the authors of Whatever Next on adult adoptee identities.
Yeah, there's a few books that influenced me before we started writing this book. The one first adoptee book that I read was one called All You Could Ever Know by Nicole Chung. And it helped me form my own feelings about adoption and made me feel validated in some of my experiences as an Asian adoptee, and gave me confidence in speaking openly about my thoughts. Another one that I really enjoyed was one called Placed by Deanna Albrecht, which is a book compiled of portrait photography and in-depth profiles of other Korean adoptees. That one, it showed me the beauty of sharing stories, vulnerability, which I feel like is important in building empathy for when talking about stories of adoption. And the last one is a fictional story written by my friend Hannah Lee, and it's called The Ones Who Misbehave. And it focuses on themes surrounding racism, mental health, and community. I feel like her bold writing style around these topics, which are sometimes seen as like taboo outside of the adoption triangle, help me feel more comfortable in confronting them with my own family and friends.
That's why we wrote the book, because we wanted to kind of take these three traditional narratives that have kind of dominated discussion on adoption and kind of talk about how we internalize them, but also how we've kind of had to unlearn them as adults. So kind of the first section, my section, looks at lucky and kind of the way in which adoptees are often told, like, you know, you're so lucky you're adopted. And then Addie's section looks at kind of this idea of like adoptees being damaged and kind of being fixed in this childlike broken state. And then Hannah's one at the end looks at the kind of hero's journey and the way in which that's been embedded in kind of TV series and like Marvel and Disney, but also Dickens, and the way that kind of adoptees are also expected to kind of overcome this like huge personal journey as kind of means of reaching as kind of like enlightenment and this like heroic end. So I mean, I suppose those are three examples of kind of, we also bleed into each other's chapters a little bit, but those are the three ones that we're looking at for the book.
Yeah, so the adoptive triangle, for those who aren't particularly familiar with this term, is a group of people comprised of the adoptees, adoptive parents, and biological parents. And the three of us realized that a lot of conversations around adoption were sort of confined to the adoptive triangle and adoptive spaces, and sort of leading to a lack of understanding of adoption, and often paving ways to common misconceptions. And so one of our goals at Whatever Next is to open up these conversations beyond the adoptive triangle, to include friends, family, and those who are interested in adoption. And so we'd love to act as a resource and make adoption more accessible and less of a taboo subject. And sort of to spread awareness of the complexity of adoption and highlight the importance of adoptee voices. So within our book, we want to tackle common misconceptions and really make people acknowledge the stereotypes and stereotypes around adoption, such as the lucky, broken, or heroic narratives, as Joe mentioned earlier, which we explore in our book, and to show how that they can have negative impact on adoptive communities, and just to get people to reflect on their words as actions.